Alright, so I saw this shit stain of an article up on Archive. It's from Kotaku. And of course it's on Archive because I'm not going to give him the click. It's written by some schmuck named Isaiah Colbert. He's about basically anime voice acting while black, overcoming hate while living a dream. And this is just fucking complete bullshit nonsense. He interviews, a handful of black voice actors for Black History Month and everything, which was actually it was over a week ago, buddy. But whatever, you know. Well, I thought it was only in February. Anyway, but he goes on and complains about the racist gatekeeping and the harassment that they see and everything. And there's just a couple things I wanted to point out because this is just fucking nonsense. And I'm sure that most sane people when they read this are like, man, what you're full of shit, dude. But anyway, he's talking about the white spread attitude one sees among white fans across various types of media that while white actors can play any type of role, what's good, Scarlett Johansson? When he's talking about, because yeah, she did play a character in that Ghost in the Shell movie, but she also got or threatened to be canceled for wanting to play a trans man in a movie, in which that movie never got made. That person's story never got told because it was only going to get told because of Scarlett Johansson's name. But they threatened to cancel her and all that shit, and they put up such a fuss that she didn't make the movie, and no one else made the movie because there's not a lot of trans actors out there because there's not a lot of trans people in the world, period. You know, I mean, I've seen estimates about 1 to maybe 1.5%, which, I mean, granted, means that there is a fairly large amount. I mean, like, in terms of raw numbers of trans people in the world, but you're talking 1% of people. You know, like, what the hell? I mean, that's not that many people. It's like 1 in every 100 characters should be trans. But it's also the saying that, like, black people are about 14% of the population, but they're overrepresented in TV shows and movies and all that kind of stuff. Now they'll tell you otherwise though, which is complete bullshit. I mean, hell, I remember seeing a thing about I think 10 years ago talking about how black people were like 20% of all the TV characters and stuff. You know, that's overrepresented. Sorry, you want to talk about who's really underrepresented? Hispanic and Latinos and Native Americans. Those are the underrepresented groups, right? But anyway, talking about this bullshit. See, somehow only white actors can play white characters too. Which, of course, this fucking clown will be the first person to argue that only black actors can play black characters. And then, of course, these guys say, as if whiteness is the liberating absence of race, while all others are limited and defined by their race. And it's like, you're the ones who define people by their race. The SJWs, the woke people, they're the ones that define everything by race. If you get a successful black person, it's always some kind of, hey, they're the first black person to do this, or they're the third black person to do that, or whatever. It's always that kind of shit. Every fucking time you turn around, that's all it is. They can never sit here and say, hey, this guy did a great job on this. No, they got to throw in, hey, he did a great job for a black guy, basically. And it's like, what the hell, But you want to call everyone else racist when they're actually the ones that are the most racist. Then of course these guys say, black folks have arguably become the unofficial ambassadors of anime in the U.S., which is complete bullshit. Like, are you fucking serious, dude? I mean, like, you sound like such a fucking reaching moron. It's unbelievable. Anyway, and he goes on and he talks some more, and this is where he starts getting into some of the articles or some of the interviews with these people. And then he's like, a vocal minority in the anime community. Well, if it's a minority, then why are you even talking about this shit? But anyway, whatever. It just goes on and on. I won't bother reading too much of this shit because, quite frankly, it's not even worth the time to fucking go over this shit. Because the guy's a fucking moron. It's like, of course, besides the fact what he's saying anyway. Black people have been, oppressed their whole lives, and now, they're getting oppressed again, and all this kind of shit and stuff. And it just goes on and on and on. I mean, I'll try to link the archive of this article if you want to read the bullshit, if you want to get the fucking eye cancer. But I can tell you right now, it's not worth it. It's just complete bullshit. It's the usual tropish, stereotypical nonsense from this fucking guy. But anyway, I've probably already spent too much time talking about this. It's not even, it's like, if this was, at an actual magazine or a newspaper, it wouldn't be worth wiping your ass on. But anyway, I'll go ahead and wrap this up here, though. I've already complained enough. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good one.